Do you ever wonder why you have difficulty completing tasks or staying engaged? If so, stay tuned for the answer. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Angela, and I'm a personal development specialist with a passion for mindset coaching. On this week's Mindset Check, we're going to talk about procrastination. A couple days ago, I was having a talk with Aaron Pratt, and Aaron Pratt is the founder and CEO of SCARP, the Second Chance Alliance. And he has an amazing YouTube channel. If you can take a moment or two, go over there and check out. He has a lot of live videos on there full of enlightening information. He's just a gem dropper. And I'll link his YouTube channel in the description. But we were having a discussion and he shared a Steve Harvey motivational video with me. And I can't remember what the video was or even really what the topic was about. But what stood out to me was he mentioned people that have a difficult time getting up in the morning. And he says, generally, people have a difficult time getting up in the morning because they are not excited or passionate about what it is that they're going to do for the day. And so I've mentioned this, in passing before, that for years, I worked 9 to 5, from 9 to 5, from 9 to 5, different companies, different fields, and I was passionate about none of it. And I had the hardest time getting up in the morning. And I always thought, oh, I'm just not a morning person. But hearing him say that, it made me think about that. And every day I got up at the same time, left the house at the same time, and arrived at work the same time every day, 15 minutes late. No matter the days I got up early, I still somehow managed to drag my feet to leave the house at the same time and get there late. Or subconsciously, I would forget something. I would get outside, get in the car, get ready to go, look for my phone to put in the GPS, whatever. And sure enough, forgot my phone. So I got to go back in the house, look for my phone, get back in the car. Sure enough, it's the same time. Got there 15 minutes late. And so this week I said, no, let's go ahead and do a mindset check and let's focus on procrastination, because I know I can't be the only procrastinator out there. And of course, I've done my self-work, so I have the awareness that it's an issue for me, but it takes time to change something that has been a behavior for you for a very long time. So what I've done is I've given you the definition of procrastination. I've listed a couple of possible underlying causes for procrastination, as well as giving you 5 steps to overcome procrastination. So the simple definition of procrastination is the action of delaying or postponing something unnecessarily. And under that definition, I acknowledge that procrastination is fear-based, and it's also based in self-limiting beliefs. So the $1 million question is, why do people procrastinate? So the first 2 things that came to mind as it relates to it being fear-based is there is a fear of failure and a fear of success. And both of those are pretty much opposite sides of the same coin. The fear of failure is not trying for fear of making a mistake. And fear of success is not trying for fear of succeeding. And a lot of times the fear of success is rooted in one's lack of self-esteem or having a negative self-concept, or not believing in one's ability, because with success comes responsibility. So if for some reason, whether it's my own self-limiting beliefs or if it's something that I picked up, from my family of origin or growing up, and I don't believe that I can, I won't. So that can lead to procrastination, just not ever wanting to get to that point where I succeed or fail. Also, failing to set goals. So goals become a destination. So if I'm embarking on a journey and I know where I'm going, I'll generally chart a course and try my best to stay on course so that I get there in the most efficient and quickest way possible. But if I don't have goals set, then I'm just going with the flow. I'm just tossed to and fro, like the scripture that says, I'm a ship without a rudder in the middle of the ocean, being tossed to and fro. Where am I going to end up? So I'm kind of left to chance. So if I fail to set goals, then that means I'm kind of going with the flow. And that's okay. Going with the flow has its place. But when we're talking about achieving success in life and in business through personal development, or if we're talking about leveling up to our fullest potential or to our highest potential, then goal setting is a must. It's not an option. And just going with the flow has no place. So failing to set goals can cause me to procrastinate because really I have no idea where I'm going. So I just don't do anything. Another one is perfectionism. Perfectionism is where we set unrealistic expectations for self. And we can get so caught up in trying to be perfect that we never do anything. Some people refer to that as the paralysis of analysis. And that was one of my symptoms right there. Even when I think about starting this YouTube channel and starting to make content for the channel, I would research a topic, I would research technology, I researched creating videos, I researched every possible aspect of putting a video on YouTube. But I did so much research, I never posted. So finally, I made a decision. I said, you know what? I'm going to post my first YouTube video. I called it How to Overcome the Fear of Posting Your First YouTube Video. I came out of a meeting one day, sat in my car and said, you know what? Let's just make it happen. And it was about 2.5 minutes. And basically, I came to the understanding and the realization that the only way to overcome my fear of posting my first YouTube video was just to do it. And I did it. And I was so nervous. I wanted to take it back, but I knew I had to do it, had to let it go, and had to be comfortable with it because it was going to change the rest of my life. The next one is a lack of motivation. So if I find myself procrastinating when it comes time for me to do a certain task or embark on a certain endeavor, and I'm not motivated to do it, again, guess what? I'm not going to do it. And lastly, procrastination is a habit. And we know it's been said that it takes approximately 21 days to form a habit. Therefore, we can expect that it would take at least 21 days to break a habit. But whenever we are in the process of change or breaking habits, we can't just stop doing what we've always done because it creates a void, it creates a vacuum. And trust and believe, by force of nature, something negative usually will replace the thing that we removed. So we have to be proactive and replace that self-defeating behavior with the self-affirming behavior, something positive that's going to help push us toward our goals. And that's unique to the individual based on your desires, your hobbies, your goals, but you have to be proactive about putting something in its place, which leads me to the 5 steps to overcome procrastination. Step number 1 is get to the root cause of your tendency to procrastinate. How did you become a procrastinator? Ask yourself the why question. Why should be your best friend? When you're in the process of personal development or changing your mindset, why is your best friend? Why do I think the way I think? Why do I behave the way I behave? And why do I feel the way that I feel? And you ask yourself why and come to the end and get the answers often enough, you're going to connect the dots and you're going to figure out how you develop this habit of procrastination. And one way to get to the root is by journaling. And we can also engage in introspection. And basically, introspection simply means to inspect within. And so I'm taking my inner self apart. The inner self is that part that other people can't see. It's the feelings, it's the thoughts. And generally we'll find clues there. Set goals. So when we set goals keep us focused. They keep us, like they say, keep your eye on the prize. It keeps us focused on our mission. And the method I prefer to use when I'm engaging in goal setting activities is the SMART method. And it's an acronym. So the S means specific. Be detailed about your goal. And for those of us that are manifestors, we know that when we set a goal or we set an intention, we visualize it, we see it, we're very specific about it. We write it down, we make it plain. And so when I'm writing it down and I'm setting the goals, I am setting the goal with the end in mind. So as I'm writing it down, I have the feeling, what is it going to feel like when this thing manifests in my life? What is it going to feel like when this goal comes to fruition? What will my life look like? Who will be in my inner circle? Who will be present with me at this time? Who would I like to have around me at this time? And when you're that specific and you're moving towards that goal, that's going to help you to weed out what's helpful, what's harmful, what's pushing you toward your goal, and what might be pulling you away from it. If it's not pushing me towards my goal, then it's pulling me away. So then that means I need to make some adjustments. And that might mean I need to revamp my goal. I might need to change jobs. I might need to get some education. Something I would need to do to fix inwardly so that I can continue my forward progress. That goal needs to be measurable. That means I can check for milestones. There should be some benchmarks that I can make in order to track my progress. They need to be achievable. So I need to consider, what are my available resources? Do I have the time? Do I even have the ability to see this thing through to completion? And they need to be realistic. Let's start with small goals and then accomplish those. Because I'm a firm believer, and I think I've said this before, that success breeds success. So when I can get success in one area of my life or achieve one goal, I'm empowered, I'm encouraged to do it again. And it starts to feel so good. I want to do it again and again and again. And the next thing I know, I've elevated beyond what I could have even imagined. And the last one is the T. Let's make it timely. So we need to set a time frame on when I would have these goals completed. So when we think of timely goal setting, my mind goes to the three types of goals: the short-term goals, medium-term goals, and the long-term goals. Short-term goals usually can be accomplished within a year. The medium-term goals usually go between 1 to 5 years, and those long-term goals are 5+. So you can work your goal setting from the macro down to the micro. So I might start at these long-term goals. Hey, this is where I see myself in 5 years. This is where I want to be in 10 years, and work my way back. Or I can start with a short-term goal and work my way forward. So I have these little goals set for myself, and somehow it creates a sense of clarity so that I can set longer term goals for myself. But the choice is yours. There's no wrong way to do it, but this just works for me. And it literally is SMART. By training and by education, I work in the behavioral health field. So when I'm doing treatment plans for my clients, that is one of the things I do in order to create an effective treatment plan, or to help the client develop a treatment plan. is we use the SMART method. And when I think about goal setting, I say be the CEO of your life. When you think about the CEO, they don't usually concern themselves in the mundane and the little details. They're the big picture thinkers. They say, hey, this is the goal I have set for the organization. And then they delegate and say, make it happen. And so for you being a big picture thinker, always be focused on where you want to go while staying present. Step number 3, decide to act. Just make a decision to do it. If you don't decide and you never come to the point where you're intentional about making it happen, you never will. So make the decision, a conscious decision to act. And then step number 4, develop a plan of action. Write it down. It's something about that kinesthetic movement, that mind movement connection that solidifies your decision. Write it down. Goes back to the S in the SMART method. Be detailed about it. Be specific. And really, when you think about developing that plan of action, if I have a plan of action, it becomes almost like a checklist. I just start marking it off. Accomplished. Goal done. Oh, wait, that's not working. I might need to revise it a little bit. Go back to the drawing board. Because again, you are the CEO of your life. Be that big picture thinker. And because you're the one in charge, step 5, do it. Take the first step toward achieving your goals. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. If you found value in this message, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. So until next time, come journey with me.